Do's and don'ts with client hygiene: take a fucking shower right away. Don't put too much lotion on because we do have to put the stencil and stuff on. Definitely come prepared, eat, sleep well, be well hydrated. Don't show up not eating, passing out. That's the worst. Tipping is huge, 20% at least. It's a service, so I think that we should be tipped as well. To prepare for your first tattoo, I would say sleep well, eat, be well hydrated. Again, be open-minded, talk to your artist if you have any questions. If you have anything that you may be nervous or scared about, just talk to us. Most of the time people think it's gonna hurt way worse than it actually does. I don't do drunk or high clients. Not a big fan of it at all. If somebody wants to have like a little drink every once in a while, that's kind of understandable, but that's really a case-to-case basis. Etiquette at a convention is huge. Don't go running around talking to all your friends, leaving the booth for 10-15 minutes. Be there on time. I know there's a lot going on, but stick to your artist, stick to the booth, and try to zone out because there's so much going on. It's really hard to get tattooed at conventions. If you're gonna get a sleeve, don't get a small little piece somewhere, like directly in the middle. Do's are definitely plan it all out. Go to an artist that does the type of style that you like, research the style that you wanna get, and start with like a main focal piece instead of a bunch of small pieces. I personally love Pinterest. It's free money. Like, people walk in, they have a design ready to go, you get it done. A don't is maybe sometimes you show up with a really micro tattoo that looks great the day of, but it may look horrible a couple days later. So listen to your artist. If the artist thinks that the Pinterest tattoo won't work, then it probably won't work. Tattoo copying should be illegal. I think back in the old days, they threatened to cut your hands off for it. But unless it's flash and the person has put it out as something that they have said that it's okay to copy, you need to put your own twist to it. Do's and don'ts for getting a face tattoo: you better have a career, A. B, if you haven't gone to school or anything yet, definitely don't do it. A do for it is find somebody that has done a lot of face tattoos, somebody that has clean line work, something along those lines. I would definitely think about it for a couple months before you do it. I'm lasering one off right now. So do's and don'ts for neck, throat, and hands. I'm kind of old school. I say you should start with sleeves, start under the shirt, and work your way towards it. I got my knuckles tattooed when I worked at Bubba Gump Shrimp Company, and I had to cover every single one with a Band-Aid. And I'd have to put multiple Band-Aids on every shift because I'd be washing my hands. So make sure that your job's okay with it. Do's and don'ts for healing a tattoo. Do's: keep it clean. If you use Sanoderm, keep it on for 4 to 5 days. Make sure that it's moisturized. Make sure that you're washing it. Don't go in the ocean. Don't go in the pool. Don't go in the hot tub. No mud wrestling with friends or pigs or anything of that sort. To get something covered up or removed, if you're not really feeling a tattoo, I'd say go for it, laser or cover up. If you want to get a cover up, unless you want it fully black, sometimes it's really good to laser it a couple times. Do's and don'ts for an apprenticeship. A huge thing for me is I showed up with a huge binder of tracings and drawings and watercolors. So show up with some artwork so people know that you're actually working towards it. Come with a great attitude, come with an open mind, come with the fact that they may tell you no 5 or 6 times. My first apprenticeship, I sat on a couch for 4 hours until he let me work one day, and then he let me work another day, and then he let me work another day, and then I became the apprentice. So it may not happen right away, but go in there, be ready to work hard and pull your sleeves up. For flash days, stick to the flash. We usually do not change it. Stick to the rules. We usually, if it's 1 to 2 colors or just black, whatever it is, come prepared to maybe wait for a long time as well. Sometimes there's a long line, long list. Also, just be ready to have fun. These flash days are usually very fun. There's a lot of people talking, a lot of people coming through the shop, and it's usually kind of a little party. When I hear tattoo gun, I laugh. I know some guys that get really mad. It's obviously somebody that's a little uneducated. Educate the person. Don't sit there and laugh and make fun of them or talk shit about them. Like, sit them down and give them the proper etiquette and the proper terminology for tattooing. everybody's new at some point. So gun is wrong because a gun fires. A machine is something that runs and just doesn't fire anything out. There's no bullets or anything like that. A machine has a needle hook up to it. A needle doesn't go in a gun, so there's some obvious separation of the two. But I think that the main thing with tattoo artists is that it is a machine and it's a tool of the trade, and I think that's why they're so adamant about getting it right. I personally do not think you should bring kids to a tattoo appointment, especially in a tattoo shop. Some shops have artwork things, words being said, stories being told that aren't appropriate for kids. It's kind of like a barber shop where, you know, kids can come in, but they might hear or see things that aren't age appropriate. And then as far as friends, if you're gonna bring a friend, maybe one, don't bring two or more, and make sure that they know that they're gonna be sitting there for a while, and make sure that they know not to be hovering over the artist or you or the tattoo. If you are going to get a tattoo with a significant other, I would say do like a matching tattoo or something that reminds you of them and not the actual name. Something that can maybe be changed along the way if need be, or covered up. Just keep it in mind, because relationships don't last, friendships don't last all the time. So if you get something with somebody, just know, you know, the time could come where you're not really friends or in love with that person anymore. I have a portrait of my friend Jimmy on my leg. Jimmy also has a portrait of our buddy Nick. He's getting a portrait of me. We're doing face swaps. That's really cute and fun. But we've been friends for a very, very long time. So that wasn't just like something that I jumped into after the first week of knowing him. Make sure that the artist likes to do in-person consultations. Some of them like to do consultations over email. It depends on if the artist is traveling a lot or not. If they have a very busy schedule, they may not be doing in-person consultations, so be open-minded to either or. Know that the artist is going to keep you in mind and keep the art and everything that you want in mind, but they're also going to keep the aging and what makes a tattoo look great over time in mind as well. While an artist is setting up, let them do their thing. I'm personally like a person that is very into my setup, and I want to make sure that everything's set up right. So if you see an artist set up, maybe not ask them 1,000,001 questions, wait until the tattoo starts. Tattoo placement. Listen to your artist, listen to your artist, listen to your artist. Placement is everything. It makes things look really cool. Sometimes things look like a sticker, sometimes they flow with your body. But when it comes to placement, artist knows best. Price haggling, get the fuck out of here with it. I don't do it. If I ask you what your budget is, then I'm willing to work with you. But unless an artist asks what your budget is, if they give you a price, don't go haggling, because you're more than likely gonna make them really mad. I think price is a good thing to bring up sooner than later. Obviously, you don't want to get into talking about designs and all that before you really have a price to know if you can even afford it or not. So I would say, you know, within the first or second time that you talk with your artist or your artist assistant or whoever's booking them, make sure to get your price right away to make sure that it's something that you can afford. Be open to the fact that there may not be any artists open. Be open to the fact that you may not be able to pick your artist. Be ready to go for a walk-in. If you walk in and you don't really know what you want, then it just takes longer and it's a longer process. So really zone in on what you want to do, bring reference if you can, and yeah, be ready for a good time. If you have to cancel your appointment, definitely do it within 48 hours. Sometimes things happen that prevent you from doing that, but a huge thing is letting your artist know. We are independent contractors. If you don't show up, we don't make money that day. So be aware that you're taking away from this person's finances, and if you really can make it, or if you're choosing not to, whatever it may be honest and upfront. Being a good client in the chair is all about communication, letting me know if you're in a lot of pain, letting me know where it hurts, what type of pain it is. Sometimes you just need a break, which is fine. If you do need to tap out, let your artist know, like, hey, I'm getting to a point that I don't think I can make it anymore. Is there a point that we can stop? For somebody like me that's a realism artist, if you go to tap out and I don't have it all mapped in, I can't necessarily re-stencil it. So just keep in mind the fact that when you are starting a tattoo, that you do need to get to a certain point so the artist can continue the tattoo for you. If you're a client that wants whatever you want, stick to that. Don't walk in and start giving us, you know, well, I want to do this, this, and that. If you tell an artist that you really want to do whatever they want to do, they're going to create a piece that they really truly like. They're probably pretty invested in it. So try not to switch anything or change anything if you're just going to let them do their thing. And just, you know, be very open-minded again, and let the artist really be creative and flow with it. And you're probably going to get the best piece that you've ever gotten by doing that. Yeah, I'm really all about the open mind. I said it like 15 million times in this interview, but just be open-minded, man. It's a tattoo, and we want to give you the best tattoo possible.